Hello.
Hello,
There we go.
everyone.
Is this working?
Hello.
Are we actually on time?
I think
welcome,
so.
everyone.
So excited.
Yeah, just to kick things off, most of this show is not scripted, but the beginning is. So I'm going to get through this somewhat professionally if we can do this. But hello, and welcome everyone to the Hearthstone Death Knight Cosplay Crown Championship. Hearthstone recently released its newest expansion, March of the Lich King, and in honor of the new Death Knight class, we're here to bring these characters to life. Submissions were received from all over the world, and we had over 20 countries worth of competitors enter. We're very excited to show you these incredible artists from the Hearthstone and cosplay communities. Before we begin, let's introduce ourselves. So my name is Tock Custom. I am I can do this. There we go. I'm the host of the show. I'm a clothing designer and a sewing instructor, cosplayer, and gamer. And I think our first judge that we're going to be introducing is the amazing Kamui Cosplay. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for having me. I'm Svetlana from Kamui Cosplay. I'm cosplaying already since 2003. I'm a huge fan of all Blizzard franchises. And yeah, I'm really excited. And it's a huge honor for me to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Next up, we've got the amazing Hoku Props.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chad at Hoku Props. I'm a visual effects artist. I live out near Hollywood, California. I work industry. I build prizing and costumes and all sorts of cool props and weapons and stuff for video game companies. And I'm also the guy that made all the prizes for this year's costume contest. So I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited for everybody to see the costumes.
Sweet. Thank you very much. And we're excited to show off your prizing. And last but not least, we've got the Hearthstone community manager and judge and fellow friend cosplayer is Alkali Layke.
Hey everybody, welcome Hearthstone community. I am so excited to see familiar faces in the chat. I see you guys, I know you're here. Thank you so much, as well as the finalists that we see in the chat and the contestants as well. Thank you for being here. Super excited to bring Death Knights to life. We are really excited to launch March of the Lich King this year, and it was the perfect expansion to showcase Death Knights and big armor cosplays. So we're really excited to have everybody here today.
Excellent. And that is our panel or lineup for this show. So one more quick thing that we have to get through. We could spend a lot of time telling you all about the expansion of March of the Lich King, but we're going to show you a little bit of a cinematic trailer. A lot of you gamers have probably seen this, but we're going to take a quick look right here. I don't even think all of our judges have seen this.
I've seen this.
Well, you should have, because you work there. Anyway, where's the thing? So here is our cinematic. Boom. All right.
I love this cinematic. It gives me the chills every single time I see it.
Oh my God, this looks amazing.
It really does.
There he is. There's the man.
I really want to build Frostmourne. Oh my God.
I have to say, when I saw Lady Liadrin in this like updated kind of armor, this Hearthstone feel, I just thought, like, how do I not make this?
Yeah, she looks amazing.
Well, she has red hair. I'm always a sucker for the red hair cosplays.
Fancy, and you can add wings. Glowy wings.
All right, come on, Arthas.
It's pretty
You
cool
got
that
this, buddy.
Arthas just gets a fireball to the chest.
And then he
Doesn't
just
Itas actually
eats it.
always lose though against everyone?
Incoming.
Yes.
Oh, Liadrin.
I love that it's a bit of a Hearthstone insignia if you look at that moment carefully.
Oh, I didn't see that.
All right,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
All right, and then we got a little bit of
Dun, dun,
gameplay
dun.
for those
Yeah.
diehard fans.
Well, a lot of people in the chat, we have a crossover chat today, right? We have a lot of people from our cosplay community. Thank you for being here. And then we have a lot of people from our Hearthstone community. And then people who just enjoy cosplay and gaming. So thank you everybody for watching. But if you haven't checked out Hearthstone yet, this is what the gameplay looks like from March of the Lich King. Super epic, tons of fun. I've been really enjoying it.
I really
And a
like
ton
the
of
style.
cosplay ideas as well.
Yeah. Oh man, too many cosplay ideas.
Well, that is
BlizzCon?
our introduction to the expansion. That's the entire theme and reason we're having this contest to begin with. So big thanks to the Blizzard community, or the Hearthstone community, for putting this show on. I think we're ready to start like the actual production of the show. So our first top of show appearance is actually going to be from Kamui here. So here we go. Okay. We wanted to talk a little bit about the history of Blizzard cosplay, and who better than Kamui Cosplay to talk about it?
Yeah, I have to say that this was actually my very first BlizzCon back in 2009. Back then, I won actually, I think also the very first digital costume competition from Blizzard. And the first prize was actually a trip to BlizzCon, which was really amazing. And it was the very first time I flew to the States. It was an absolutely incredible experience for me. And since then, I actually participated in several Blizzard costume competitions. I also won once at Gamescom, and I won the grand prize at BlizzCon in 2013 with my original design character, the Protoss Wizard. And yeah, I'm actually visiting BlizzCon now forever, and I'm really, really excited for this year that it's finally coming back.
Excellent. Yeah. So, I've been playing Blizzard games since '94. I think we got some old school Blizzard gamers here, which developed into our cosplay and artistic careers.
Oh, yes. Totally. World of Warcraft got me into WoW, and I couldn't stop. Actually, I think I cosplayed like 20 or 30 Blizzard characters or something like that. It's a little bit intense. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. This was actually just one of my druid costumes, druid tier 6 from World of Warcraft. I think I did like 6 druid costumes alone. Yeah.
All right. Well, as this kind of has evolved, we're going to talk a little bit about this show and our competition here. So in this particular event, we've got 4 categories. In fact, hold on. I want to make sure that okay. We've got our armor category, needlework, our Death Knight category, which is very specific to this event, and our Goblin Craft, which is a really fun kind of cardboard and duct tape category that was actually Alkali's idea. So thank you for that. And we're going to talk a little bit about our prizing. So our 3 main categories, our armor, needlework, Death Knight, are going to win $1,500 and one of Hoku Props shadow box medallions that you'll see later in the show. But those are the renderings of them, and they look amazing.
So excited for people to see those.
But yeah, for any of the gamers watching this, there's this huge underground culture of cosplayers and competitors. Like it's really thick, and you're seeing a big dose of it right here. So hopefully you enjoy this show. Anyway, that is our prizing, and then Goblin Craft will take home $500 and one of the medallions. Oh yeah, and then our best in show, forgive me, will win $5,000 plus.
Oh my God, that's
the
amazing.
Championship crown.
Money.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You'll also get to see some really cool stuff that Hoku had made.
There's a crown right here.
And just so
this
chat
might
knows, if someone wins one category, right? So if someone wins, let's say someone in needlework wins, right? They win $1,500 and they win best of show. That's actually $6,500.
Oh, they stack.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Ooh.
Actually,
Ooh.
Hoku.
So is the winner actually becoming the new Lich King then?
No.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to ask the big guys at work. I haven't cleared that.
With this crown?
I think he's going. Oh wait, that's the
my-
original.
That's
Wow.
my job.
That's
Oh.
Okay.
his crown of domination there.
But Sylvanas broke it sadly.
Oh, no.
I was in San Francisco with you when that actually broke. Anyway,
That was the first time.
okay.
Costume
so,
malfunctions, guys.
Our first. Oh no, I'm sorry. We've got our community spotlight on the cosplay
These are incredible.
renderings.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my God.
let's talk about this. We had some custom reference sheets created for this show. And this, if you guys remember, this actually was something that we started with Heroes of the Storm. We started creating these cosplay reference sheets. And that's one of the reasons I really got into cosplay was the art of World of Warcraft and Blizzard. And they carry that over in Heroes of the Storm with the cosplay reference sheets. And we hadn't really seen them since. So it's something that our cosmetics team helped us with on this. And we put these together for the show. We were hoping to see more of them, but it was a tight deadline, we understand, but we did have a few people do some of these, and we wanted to highlight one, and I think it's coming up here in just a moment. We're super excited to see these come to life.
Dude, that Van Cleef is rad.
I know.
Wow.
I was really hoping to see an Edwin, but maybe someday. So Redeemer Tyrande, and I believe we're going to pause here.
Available. They look absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure cosplayers love them. Where can we find them?
So these were on our blog post that originally introduced the cosplay contest that you guys are watching today. And they are at the bottom of the blog post linked, and you could zoom in on these and
Dude,
take a
that's
look at
rad.
that. So thank you, and Hyra Cosplay. We just wanted to focus on this because we from the Blizzard team, and I showed this with our cosmetics team, really thought you did a great rendition of this. So thank you very much for bringing Redeemer Tyrande to life.
It looks amazing. I love
Hyra,
it.
that is awesome.
So that hopefully is a trend that continues if other events like this happen in the future. And big love to the artists that shared these renderings to help the cosplayers to create what they did. So now, without making any mistakes, we are going to hopefully get to our actual first category, which is armor. And I think I've asked Kamui to explain and introduce what is the armor category in this competition.
Oh, armor is a little bit of everything. It includes props. It includes, like obviously big shoulders, big wow shoulders, helmet. We're searching for all kind of different materials. Sometimes people are actually turning EVA foam into metal. We're searching for leather work. We're searching for a lot of larger than life actually, and just a ton of different techniques combined. Plenty of people, they are actually also like using fancy LEDs, really cool props, and we're just searching for some really cool and also quite often very big costumes. I'm really excited to see all the contestants.
Very cool. So for this one, the winner of this category is going to get one of Hoku Props' Shadowbox Medallion medals, which is awesome, and $1,500 US, and obviously the glory of being the best armor in this competition. So with that, I believe we can begin showing our armor finalists, starting with Chainsaw as Terragosa.
Oh my god, she looks amazing.
Kamui,
Wow.
do you want to start
Chainsaw.
talking about Chainsaw here?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's I think it's an original design and also based on an existing design. It was like kind of a mashup, and the character is actually Terragosa from World of Warcraft. She's like one of the big fancy dragons, and I absolutely love how she brought like Terragosa to life, like with all the LEDs. Like this headpiece looks absolutely gorgeous, and like the whole silhouette of the costume is like so pretty, and especially like all the cosplayers actually they actually made some build books where you can see like how they made the costumes, which materials they used, like which techniques they implemented into their project, and it was just a huge joy to see the whole costume bringing to life.
Oh, and every finalist gets 2 full minutes. So after one judge finishes, feel free to just jump in and start freaking out.
I want to take over then. So something that really stuck out to me on this costume, and it's also something that I really like on the design, is the way that there's the actual like gold cap elements on the tips of the horns. The way that people do those different kind of segments on the horns as well and get them to overlap. It really gives you a lot of dimensionality on it, and I think that they executed incredibly well. This costume is just quite striking.
I love that this cosplayer thought of the look from head to toe. It's something we talk about a lot. Like sometimes, it's just easy to focus on the big armor and World of Warcraft and Hearthstone. There's always big armor, big shoulders, check this out, big horns, right? But she really took the time to focus on the cosplay as a whole, top to bottom. This is just a nice, really cohesive cosplay. Even the makeup, it just looks great. And I love the paint job, and I love I don't even know what that's called. It's like this, something you see on mages a lot. What is that, Kamui? The purple and gold runes on the horns is beautiful.
The horns from Terragosa. That's what they look like, actually.
We're pros. Pros.
Yeah. I mean,
the
like
runic bindings.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think
the
like
scroll
it's actually
work.
really interesting that she made like a human version of the character. Like Terragosa is actually a dragon, and when it comes to original design, it's actually really, really difficult to make something your own, which is still recognizable. But when you see the costume from Keychain Cosplay, you see instantly that this is Terragosa, and like creating something like that is actually really challenging.
All right, we're gonna move on. And by the way, Chainsaw, thank you for being first without your consent. But we had to start somewhere, and you set the bar very high
The pressure.
for this competition. So we're gonna move on to our second armor finalist, who is Danny McFly from Austria as Terillion, and this is terrific. Hoku, would you like to introduce Danny McFly's Terillion, please?
Oh, Terralion is such a cool character. I've got a big fondness for paladins. I've cosplayed Uther, and Terralion was one of the costumes that when I saw him and it was Legion, I just absolutely wanted to make him, but I never had the chance. And so now that I've seen how Danny's done his, I feel like I should never do it again because this is Terralion to me. Danny, you are Terralion. I'm sorry, but you have to now hold that throne, right? This costume is incredible. It's got incredible painting. The undersuit really helps keep mobility. You can also see as he's walking, when you've got these big armor costumes, mobility is one of the biggest issues you run into. And this is something that he has executed just really, really well. He's also made his own gloves. Like there's just so much to talk about on this costume. I also really love his wig work. You know, we're talking about armor, but his wig work is just absolutely exquisite.
Yeah,
So
full prosthetics, wig work, lots of sewing, tons of elements. Alkali, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I just love this from top to bottom. I mean, we have weapons, we have an underbody suit, smoke effects, wig work, there's scar work on his face, or at least I hope that is. I mean, you know, actually, I know it is. We saw the video, but this is just a beautiful cosplay from start to finish. It's balanced well, it's proportioned right, which is difficult to do with the heaviness of World of Warcraft armor. And actually, same Hoku, this is one of my favorite characters. I really love his story. It's just very well done. The light work looks great here. And even the balance of the weapons too, just holding that weapon with the cosplay looks great. This cosplayer did an amazing job as well.
I don't remember if this is the last picture, so we're going to find out. No, there it is. Okay. But Danny, excellent work. Thank you so much for entering into this competition. And we are going to move on to Sayashi Cat. I hope I pronounced that correctly. In her Tier 21 Mythic Paladin armor suit. And Alkali, it's my turn to call upon you first to chat about Sayashi Cat.
All right, so one of the things I love about this cosplay is something that people who've done cosplay a long time know is difficult, which is gold work. Something that Hoku brought up earlier. And the gold on the armor, the gold on the cape just looks beautiful. She's done a great job with the paintwork and balancing. These shoulder pauldrons look great. Again, a lot of thought from top to bottom here. From the shoe armor, if you look closely, all the way down, all the way to the top with the headdress and a weapon. So a lot of consideration with this. We also have fabric pieces and then wig work and ear work with creating the ears. She did all of this herself and it's just stunning.
This just feels very Blizzard when you look at it. Like it just has that personality, which is great. Very, very Warcraft.
I also really love that like this is actually again like more or less an adjusted design, like it's based on an existing tier set and WoW. But it totally shows that like cosplay is all about creativity, you know. You don't need to stick to the reference 100%, but like you have to make the costume for yourself, or like the way you actually feel more comfortable about it. And she actually adjusted the look of the costume a little bit, and I really, really love the additional creativity that went into designing this costume at the end.
I really liked the cloak on this costume, actually.
Yeah.
It was just something that tied the whole design together. The fabric elements on it actually also really, really complemented the paint colors. And then the final thing that stands out to me is like Ashbringer is such a cool weapon.
Yeah.
And this version of it, it's just, once again, it complements the whole thing. Sometimes prop weapons and whatnot can actually kind of like throw off a costume, and this one's just perfectly scaled to her proportions.
And the color combination is just gorgeous.
I know, right? It's so yummy.
It's amazing. Yeah, I love it.
One other note I want to make, because I rendered and edited all this stuff. Whoever was filming your stuff stands at a weird angle, so tell them to hold the camera more straight, because I had to correct all of that in post. But beyond that, this is absolutely incredible entry. Okay, moving on, we've got Sanguine from France, who I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, as Alex Straza, and I think it is Kamui's turn?
Yes.
First turn, but what I really, really loved about this costume is especially the speed it was created with, because like I think the new model of Alex Strasser was just released very recently, and I mean like you have to, you know, like you have to finish the costume then in time for the costume competition, and like sometimes people are actually pulling out those costumes in like just weeks or something like that, sometimes like just days, and this costume looks absolutely incredible. I love the back piece, like all those details. Also Alex Strasser's design is just really, really pretty, and it's so nice to see this coming to life. And she just looks exactly how that like that she just jumped out of the game. And yeah, it was just absolutely pleasure to see this costume up close. Like, it's amazing. I love it.
I really like the movement on this costume. As you look in the video, the actual pan shots, you can see like the chain has some just subtle motion and movement, and then also like the spinal extension, the segmented one. It's got overlapping pieces that are all bound, and that allows you to have motion as well. So when she's walking, there would just be this once again, this really cool motion. I don't know, I keep talking about motion, but it's just, it's always a cool
It looks
effect.
just really cool.
Yeah, somebody walks in the room, you see their silhouette, and they've got this sway in their tail.
Yeah. And like, you really have to appreciate that she put like so much additional effort into the back of the costume, which barely anyone sees. But like also the back of the wig looks absolutely amazing.
It's
like
so clean too.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
This is a great example of cosplay matches reference photo.
Yeah.
Like, so cool. If you check out her Twitter, she has side-by-sides of the back and the horns and the hair. She got the hair right. So this is Alex Straza from Dragonflight, and really check it out if you have some extra time. Look at her side-by-side photos on Twitter. Really cool, really great job. And just to echo Kamui, done in a super fast amount of time. Unreal.
Right.
Yeah,
big,
so impressive.
Big shout out to all the people who crunched to like, cause we didn't give you guys a lot of time from announcement to submission. So well done to everyone for getting their submissions in. And last in our armor category, we've got Woodwarder from the US as Darian Mograine. And actually, this is perfect that it's Hoku's turn to talk about this next finalist because of all the 3D modeling and printing going on.
Yeah, so this entire costume, all of the armor elements are 3D modeled and 3D printed. There's some really, really, really big struggles that 3D printed armor kind of brings to the table. The biggest one is just the fact that unlike in WoW with your giant shoulders, you actually have collision in real life. And so this video really made me laugh because Woodwarder did such a good job of showcasing not only the armor, but how he could actually cosplay in the armor, and how I actually felt like we were just, standing outside of Stormwind, and he's just jumping around, dancing and shaking his hips, and it's just funny. This whole costume's also just incredibly beautiful.
Yeah. Also like the time he must have spent just to sculpt all those armor pieces. This 3D sculpting requires a ton of skill and patience, and I absolutely love all the details, like also the shapes, and especially he got like those massive WoW shoulders right, they're like so intimidating to do, and he's just dancing with them. That's
this
insane.
is so funny.
We didn't have a category for dance moves, but we should really consider adding that next year.
We need a dance competition as well.
I didn't know we edited that part in there. Sorry, chat.
Oh
man,
this was one of the most fun submissions to actually go through, I think, for all of us. And it helps that the armor is also incredible too.
I think if this says anything to future contestants too, even for any competition, don't feel afraid to bring your attitude and energy to your presentation. It really helps sell it. Like, I love that. This is wonderful.
For future costume contests, guys, if it's an online video contest, stuff like this isn't a bad thing, at least not for a judge like me. Not at all.
He's a very happy Death Knight, right?
He is. Someone in chat said, oh my god, he can actually sit down too, which in a lot of armor you can't do.
Yes.
Okay, I believe that's our last still of Woodwarder. So those were our armor finalists. So applause. Thank you guys all so much for submitting, and I think we don't really waste a lot of time. We're gonna jump right into our armor category winner.
Let's go!
Do you guys want to suspense it up a little, or should we just go for it?
Suspense is so fun.
Maybe we should add that this category was actually really, really difficult to judge because especially in the armor category, people have so many difficult and challenging techniques, and people are coming with larger than life costumes and everything. It's a really, really difficult category to judge, and all the entries were just absolutely incredible.
Agreed. You're here.
Completely agreed.
Let's do it.
Just
Chad-
want to announce
Let's
the
do it.
All
finalists.
right, here we go.
Your winner,
here we
let's
go.
do it.
That's enough stalling. All right, so our armor category winner is Danny McFly.
Oh my God!
Danny McFly. Congratulations.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a time
Oh my
we're
God.
celebrating right here. So congratulations. Danny's an amazing artist and person, and I've gotten to hang out with him in lots of different countries now. But yeah, what a remarkable, determined cosplayer and artist. And he's very committed to the cosplay community, which is just terrific.
Yeah, it was also, I have to add that like it was such a joy to see his build book, because you saw how like he everything made completely from scratch and really tried to also get the proportions right, because when it comes to World of Warcraft characters, like their proportions are absolutely insane, and it's actually really difficult to bring those characters properly to life. And he actually made a complete bodysuit with like carved out foam and everything, so he actually got the muscles of Terralia and like the bulkiness, like the shoulder wide and everything. It was absolutely incredible, because already making just the base of the costume was already a ton of work, and then he actually used the 3D model in game and like put it like basically digital into himself to create like all the patterns exactly in the right proportion, and just seeing all the process onto the final costume was just incredibly inspiring and motivating. It's just really interesting.
This was such a pleasure to judge. Like, what a great build book. What a great example of showcasing your talent from start to finish. This is just a beautiful cosplay. Congratulations, Danny.
Yeah, congratulations.
This costume is really more than just armor. It's armor, it's sewing, it's got special effects, it's got everything. And that's something that, as Alkali was saying, it was such a pleasure to judge this costume, because we were trying to find problems and we couldn't really find any. And that's something that's always just like check mark, check. Okay, this thing's awesome. It's just awesome. Plus it lights up.
Yeah,
it's got smoke.
And that's like
everything.
the tough. And it also, I think you barely you didn't saw it really, but like he also made like his own scars and everything, made like his own wig completely from scratch, like with a really, I would say, like didn't look at like Terrellion at all.
Media.
It's like, yeah, like this costume has just absolutely everything. And yeah, check out Danny McFly on Instagram as well. He has plenty of amazing costumes, which are just as awesome.
Check out all
well.
of these people.
Yes, please check them out on Instagram, and especially you can also see like all their build books, like you can see their making of process, and like sometimes they also make tutorials, and like the cosplay community in general is very supportive and like very inspiring and try to help each other. So really check out those people on Instagram and like all their other social media pages. They're amazing.
I want to point out, you might be noticing all the judges are getting very excited right now. None of that is scripted. They're that excited. We're all
just really excited
to be here. That's
well,
how
and
we
we're all gamers. Like we love World of Warcraft and Hearthstone.
This
is
isn't
our
staged
world.
enthusiasm here.
Yeah.
But anyway, congratulations to Danny. We're going to move on to our next little segment here. And thank you, judges, for all of your feedback. And I think that was a pretty fun selection there. So I believe something that I like to do as the showrunner for any Ultimate Cosplay show is I really like to highlight and celebrate all of the artists that entered into our show. So we're going to take a few different segments to show some of our other folks that submitted to this show that we are not specifically showcasing as finalists, and we get to do that here and now. So without further ado, here's our first group of bonus cosplay entries from a lot of different countries.
Oh, Android Tier 6, love it.
Yep. Oh, and that was one of your first costumes too, right?
Yes.
Aegis Studios is a great guy.
Wow, this looks amazing. Oh my God.
We had so many great entries. It was really, fun to choose who was going to, make the finalists.
Also, this contest is like so international. It looks like the whole world actually participated. That's amazing.
Over 20 countries, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I think the final count of people that made it eligible in the show was, I think, 26 countries.
That's so
And
awesome.
some of these countries I hadn't seen represented before, so that's really amazing to see that.
Yes, Lich King.
Oh my god.
And
I
a
love
lot
it.
of different characters too.
Yeah.
Sometimes we tend to see a lot of the same ones, but we really had quite the variation this time.
Wow.
And
I
then
always
my
love-
love,
Oh,
Tyrande, of course. I'll never get
Oh,
sick of
yeah.
seeing her.
Oh man.
I was gonna say I always love when we see a Lich King costume and it's beautiful skies outside.
Yes, yes. And like making this costume is actually so difficult because of the crazy proportions, right?
Yeah.
And this is our
Wow.
And the organic look to it too, right?
Yes,
it's not just typical armor.
Yes.
There's a lot of like organic feel to
Yep.
the
Yes.
Lich King armor.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm lucky. I got to build a Lich King costume for the Make-A-Wish
Ooh,
Foundation
yeah.
last year,
Oh,
and that
that's
thing was
amazing.
just a wild costume with it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah. Oh my god, you looked amazing. What I really love about like such costumes, because like the Lich King is so popular, but then there are people making a whole Lich King set out of like, you know, like 3D printing. Other people are making it out of foam. There's surely also Lich Kings made out of paper mache and stuff. And like the cosplay community is just so creative that like even if you don't have a lot of budget to create that stuff, like we have later also the Goblin category, you know, and like people are just getting really, really creative and like find ways to bring their ideas into like real looking characters, and you don't see at all that this is just like simple formats or anything. That's
I
amazing.
love these costumes.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for helping me celebrate some of our other people that we didn't get to feature because these people put in a ton of work, so they deserve a lot of credit. And now we don't really waste a lot of time here. We're jumping right into our needlework category, and I've asked Hoku Props to introduce the needlework category for us.
All right, so in the needlework category, you're going to see things like sewing, you're going to see things like beading, embroidery, a lot of leather work. You know, these costumes, needlework really combines a plethora of different like disciplines, and trying to get them to all work kind of together and harmoniously. And it's a tall task. It's a tall order. So I'm really excited for you guys to be able to see all of the different needlework costumes that we get as our finalists.
All right, excellent, well done. And just like the other category, they are the winner of this category will also win $1,500 along with one of the ceremonial Death Knight Cosplay Crown medals in a shadow box, which we'll get to show later. Anyway, so without waiting any longer, we are going to get into our needlework finalists. And I remember who's first. We've got Black Apple Creative as Wintergreen from Australia. And Alkali, how would you like to start with this entry here?
Okay, so I have to say, this also was yet another wonderful build book that we got to go through. This cosplayer really pulled out all the stops. I mean, yes, they are in the needlework category, but take a look at this. They did special effects work. They did some armor. They sculpted those horns, those leaf prosthetics on the face. This is amazing. They really took a lot of time to put special craft work into this, wig work, and not just needlework and sewing. And she did such a great job. Again, another head to toe finished look, and her sewing skills were just so beautiful on all of those hand painted petal leaf pieces on the skirt. Just a really great job. And I love the headdress.
What I really love, like, is like with cosplay, you really see that like your favorite characters brought to life. And like I said like so many times during Shadowlands and actually crying in front of the Winter Queen. And it's like so amazing to see her actually now in real life and like see people, you know, who love the Winter Queen just as much as me, you know. And I absolutely love the whole build book, like costume, also like so many different techniques and materials combined in a really beautiful piece of art. Love it.
The back of this cosplay too, so beautiful. I forgot to mention that.
I think we might have a shot. Here's the back.
Ooh.
It's basically like
Gorgeous.
fabric wings that go all the way down. And then we've got the whole headpiece up top, which kind of blends into the background, but it looks so good with those kind of wooden antlers.
Trying to get antlers that big on your head and actually be able to move around and it just not completely unbalance you is really, really difficult. And she's done such a great job. The proportions on it really do fit with the entire aesthetic of this costume. It's amazing.
She did a great job of staying in character throughout her whole presentation too. She's just got that Wintergreen smolder going on. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was told by our core assistant, known as Tiffany Gordon Cosplay, that we're going too fast with this show. I feel like we're at a good pace. But
No, maybe.
I trust her. You know, she is who she is for a reason. So if we need to slow it down, we'll try. But I'm having a lot of fun right now. Anyway, coming up next. Who is next? Oh, we've got Kristen's Creatures from Canada
Jaina.
in our Jaina Proudmoore. And I love that it's in the snow, too. So I believe it would be Kamui's turn to start this off.
Oh, I love Jaina. Jaina is such an amazing character, and also seeing her coming to life as well, it's absolutely amazing. This participant actually did an absolutely amazing job on the build book. I think the build book was actually only optional, right? But it was really interesting to see like all the techniques and like all the effort that went into the costume. And you know, like in this way, you can actually also see like all the tiny details that you might not notice while just looking at the costume itself. But like, I mean, just the wig styling, it was so much effort to actually exactly make the wig like Jaina in the game. And she absolutely looks amazing. I love the costume, and also like very in character presentation of the character.
Getting that gauntlet right is key to doing a proper Jaina as well. If you don't get the gauntlet right,
That and the staff.
Yeah.
They're both. This costume had more than that, though. It's like the foam work on the armor was so incredibly good. And then the paint work. I really like when people take the time to actually airbrush their fabric, depending on the costume. And this is a costume that really pops because of the extra contrast added by just airbrushing, like I said, the different fabric elements. So really props to you for just doing such an incredible job.
I love Battle for Azeroth Jaina. When this character came out, I got chills because the previous Jaina was just, I don't know how to compare them, but Battle for Azeroth Jaina just hits different, right?
Yeah.
She's got these amazing boots and the corset, so much more fabric work, so much to work with as a cosplayer that when you see something like this come out, you're just like, you want the character to have this, right? So thank you, Blizzard gods, for creating Battle for Azeroth Jaina, and thank you to the cosplayers who created her. This is gorgeous.
Oh, it's so striking.
Yeah. Also huge respect to actually going out in the snow in the costume, because it's also actually right now quite cold in Germany, and we are also like minus 10 degrees or something like that. It would be a little bit too cold for me, so a huge respect for actually doing the shoot in the snow in costume, and it doesn't look like a very warm costume as well.
She's very much in character.
Oh yes, totally.
Yeah. Okay, anyway.
Let's talk about that wig real quick. I want to point it out. I know it's not part of needlework, but they're very difficult to do. And I've seen a lot of Jaina wigs, and this one was just so perfectly proportioned. And then Jaina has like this kind of yellow streak that comes through the top, but she made it look like it would look if you were a human character. It probably wouldn't be yellow. It has this nice tone to it. Just special consideration to how things would look in real life. And then even on the armor, you don't see seams on the shoulder pauldrons. Normally it's two pieces, and you can see that seam in the middle sometimes, and everything was just well worked out, well put together. Again, the shading on the cape and the boots. On Jaina, the I'm forgetting because I am not a needlework person, but the pieces where you lace up the boots are so close together. It's difficult to do that and not get it punchy, and she pulled it off. So very nice work.
Yeah, structure.
Yes.
All right, you guys got anything else? We just gave like 9 whole. No, I'm kidding. And by the way, someone said in Canada -10 is nothing, which is very true.
Yeah, sorry.
So
I maybe want to mention that like needlework is a little bit difficult with Blizzard characters though, because like when people actually had to pick the categories they want to participate in, you know, like you actually have to search for one that fits you the most. But like all the characters, they have like all wig styling, they have like often all like some armor, some LEDs and stuff. So probably the contestant just searched for the piece that was like the most needlework, and just so you guys know how we actually made categories, I think, because I think like with Blizzard stuff is a little bit difficult.
Yeah. There's so much overlap because
Yeah,
Armor
right?
has such good special effects in Needlework, and then Needlework also has parts of Armor. Your mage is always going to have your pauldron. It's just like there's so much still going on, and so it's like it's more flavored of this, but pretty much it's just Blizzard costumes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I will say that from the Blizzard end of things, we did consider that because we do know that usually there's a lot of Armor and Blizzard cosplays. So mages and warlocks tend to have the most needlework opportunities because there's a lot of fabric.
But they still have armor.
Yeah, they do. So we made sure if you take a look at Khadgar, which is one of the cosplay references, that one is a lot of needlework. So we really did try to find some reference material to put it out there for the cosplay community. Yeah. So that's really cool that we took the extra consideration for the categories.
Yeah, I didn't do a great job of actually breaking down how judging works and what's eligible, and people pick their own categories, but you know what? We got some great artists, and you guys, big thanks to the judges for breaking this down for anyone who's not, a regular cosplayer. Anyway, we're going to move on to Achilles because this is a fantastic artist from France that entered a varied Brightwing cosplay. And
oh man,
go ahead.
This costume is
go for it. I can tell you're just excited.
Yeah. I'm ready to go. This costume has so many different elements a part of it. This really, for me, is described when we were describing needlework earlier. It's got leatherwork, it's got beadwork, it's got fabric work, it's got embroidery, you've got applique. The wings on this costume are stunning. The headdress is stunning. The segmented leather armor, there is so much going on. If you look really closely, there is a tremendous amount of tooling. That's the stamping that occurs to create contrast and surface texture. And I was blown away by this costume. I absolutely love this costume.
Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. Like, I think what's like the most impressive about this costume and like also cosplay in general, like you see all those amazing costumes in movies and stuff, and like you see the making of those costumes, like like in some documentaries and stuff, and you see like all those teams, like this massive amount of people actually working on those movie costumes, and then cosplayers come over and just say, I can do the same in my basement in 1 week. And it's like sometimes I think like cosplayers are so crazy, but like their passion and love for all those Blizzard characters. And I have to say, like, Blizzard games are just so amazing for inspiration, for motivation. And like this costume is also specifically it's Brightwing from World of Warcraft, but like she took the whole character one step further and actually create her very own version and put such an incredibly amount of work into the costume that I think like, you're insane. You're absolutely insane. But holy crap, this is awesome. The result was like, oh my God, like you had also to see the build book. Please check out the making of, like the social media of those participants. Like, it's absolutely mind blowing how much work and effort they actually put into the costumes.
Yeah.
I have to say, from a Hearthstone perspective, Brightwing is a Hearthstone card. So it's also part of Hearthstone, and it is a beloved card because some cards are beloved because of the artwork. And Blink Fox is an example of a Hearthstone card. So Brightwing is another example of this card is just stunning and beautiful. It's an older card and it still gets shared on social media today a lot. I often see streamers print it out and put it in their background. And I have to say, Achilles Cosplay, please don't get upset at me. I'm gonna say it. This kind of looks like, who's the pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean? What's his name?
Jack Sparrow?
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow mixed with Brightwing
as Jack Sparrow.
And I'm obsessing. It's
I'm
fabulous.
cool with that.
This leather work was stunning. So yes, it for me, it's the Jack Sparrow Brightwing of the Hearthstone world, and it is something to behold.
And like I think like this costume, I have no idea how much it was, but like, this costume looks like at least 500 hours of work, maybe 1,000.
There's no way the prize money for winning this even touches what she spent on materials. There's no way.
This doesn't matter anyway.
It doesn't matter, but just so everyone at home knows like how much much of an investment.
Time equity as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we've got two more Needlework finalists, so we're going to move on to another tier 6 druid. This is from Germany too, which is great. Actually, Kamui, sorry to skip you, Alkali, but Kamui's got some.
Oh, I loved this one.
Yes,
Well,
I love this one as well. I think this was all letter work actually, right? Like, this contestant actually wanted to stay true to the reference, and like the Druid tier 6 set from World of Warcraft is actually just all made out of leather. And this contestant also wanted to use mostly leather to bring the costume actually to life. And I really love like when people try to stay even with the with the materials accurate to the reference. And yeah, like I made a costume as well. It like I have a lot of memories with it, and so it was like very special for me to see another Druid tier 6 cosplay. And I also loved all the light installation, and yeah, it's a gorgeous costume as well.
So these
Someone
shoulders
please talk
are
about
wood.
the hand-stitched leather
wood.
skulls.
Yeah.
'cause they're so incredible.
So the shoulders are wood, hand carved. And so it's also mixed media in terms of armor. I have never in my time as a cosplayer seen hand carved wood shoulder pauldrons. This was a new one for me. And then the leather working, as Kamui mentioned, is just stunning on the headpiece. And then there's shading on the cape, extra attention to shading on the feathers and the hand stitching. Just really fun. Great character to do.
I feel like Nils really just wanted to actually become a druid and pretty much has completely accomplished that task. I really like the lighting effects as well. Proper diffusion on lighting is really, really hard, and making sure that you don't have like LED hotspots for what, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, sometimes there is a very, very central point of light and you need to be able to get it to kind of cast and disperse. And Nils has done a very good job of doing that here. Yeah. It looks very good. Yeah. Plus the shoulder.
Yeah, in their build book, they showed this great like wet forming leather of the eagle heads, and then their hand stitched. It's like the detailed pictures were incredible to look at.
Also, leather is such a challenging material to work with.
Yeah.
I'm just using foam for everything because it's so easy to shape and cut and everything. But like leather is so much more difficult.
It's expensive and it's very unforgiving. If you make a mistake with leather, you're stuck with that mistake.
If you mess it up, it's going to be pricey.
Yep.
A lot of our contestants used vegan leather too, which is, I feel, I've only worked with it once, even more difficult to work with. It has its own quirks. So props to them for trying that and working with something like that. It's difficult. Yeah,
it's not as stretchy.
Oh.
I never worked with that.
I keep forgetting what our last still is, but we've got another Jaina here, and this is Zaffy cosplay from Australia, and this was the specific Battle for Azeroth variation of Jaina, which I'm a huge fan of, because I get flashbacks of her freezing a giant wooden ship during that last raid. I forget the name of that raid, but what a hell of a fight. Anyway, Alkali, since we skipped you, would you like to start by talking about this one?
I'm just going to talk about my love for Battle of Azeroth Jaina again. I mean, it's so wonderful that we get to have two of them in the show. She's done a masterful job here with the needlework, working on this type of filigree and the gold work on the back of the cape, and all of the hip pieces and the needlework is difficult. She's done a great job with the bodice as well. There's a lot of elements of needlework here, right? We have a bodice, which is always difficult to work with, belts, those shoe boot covers, as I mentioned earlier on the other Jaina cosplay, very, very difficult needlework pieces. This is high skill cap level to be able to make things like this.
Absolutely agree. The staff that she actually did the 3D model for it, and it is finished so impeccably well. A lot of the time when you see 3D printed objects, you can see that stepping along the kind of height of it, and eliminating that is really, it takes a lot of work. And so there's just a lot of subtle nuances on this costume that really shine through, especially like the embroidery work as well. I really loved the embroidery detail and like the little touches. Plus she made her own bags. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, the stuff, by the way, it lights up, which you barely can see in the videos and photos. And she installed a motor, so like the crystal actually rotates, which is really cool. And like often people actually like when other people see cosplayers, they always think, okay, like are they like engineers? Are they like tailors? Or like any professionals or anything in any way? But like I have to mention, like all those cosplayers actually learning these skills just for a single cosplay. So I'm pretty sure that like she maybe just got into electronics, like actually adding motors, like programming all this stuff specifically just for the staff, which you don't see spinning right now, but just for herself, just to stay true to the reference, because she loves the character so much. It's just absolutely insane how much work and effort cosplayers put into tiny little details. Maybe nobody noticed, but you know it's there.
Yep.
You know it's there.
And setting too, this is something that we talk about with photos. It's not like a huge contribution to how we look at like scores, but it's important. Like this is Jaina in her element. This is where I would expect to see Jaina, the wind blowing in her hair by the ocean. Perfect setting for putting this cosplay together. The overall effect is just beautiful.
Yeah, that emotional engagement hits really,
yes, it does.
Really well.
Yeah, and actually, good point. We did do, the way we split judging is 40-40-20. So it's 40% appearance, 40% execution, 20% presentation. And sometimes just getting that perfect presentation can tip you over the edge and get you in as a finalist. So that's a big deal right there.
Yeah,
Plus, it's just fun to look
are
at for everyone.
So good.
Yeah.
They're so good.
I believe that was our last. Oh, wait. We got maybe another picture or two. But this was our last Needlework finalist in this category. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the prizing of who might end up winning the new. Oh, yeah. So big thank you to all of our Needlework finalists. Thank you guys so much for entering and being part of this show. And I believe we're going to show our winner. Does it?
I'm watching chat for the guesses. I'm trying to see if they're going to pick it. I want to see chat pick their winner real quick. Can we do this after each one? We'll just watch it real quick. We should have done like straw polls or something like that. Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah,
anyway,
I just like to
this
see
person is
people
competing for
comment.
$1,500 and one of the custom medallions made by Hoku Props. So our winner in Needlework is Killy's Cosplay from France.
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Oh my
god!
Oh my god!
This made me doubt my existence as a cosplayer. Like I feel actually pretty decent at what I do, and then I see this and I know nothing.
It's like when you see something like that, you always think like, okay, I have to get better. I have to learn all these skills. Like, why is my stuff so crappy crap? Like literally, I'm like, when I see stuff like this, like I instantly want to get into leatherwork as well. I want to add all the beads to my next costumes and like just do all the makeup and everything and add wings as well. I think like seeing winners like this is like always so inspirational and like motivational and like just inspiring, and like you instantly get like new ideas. And like this costume was actually just mind-blowing. Just the pure effort that went into creating the costume. It was amazing.
I have to say, like, I don't think we could have commissioned an artist to draw a human version of Brightwing better than this person envisioned it. Like, there's no way we could have. I don't think we could have done it better. This is just stunning. Just really a great representation if we're talking about the character itself too. This to me is Brightwing personified.
Yeah.
Absolutely agreed. The way that the colors pop on this costume too, you know, when you have I think it's called anthropomorphized, right? When you have somebody take a costume that's a creature and then they're doing a humanoid version of it and trying to kind of bridge that and maintain that identity, this costume did such a good job of doing that that it just really, 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 it was striking. Absolutely striking.
Yeah.
And when I look closely at every bead, every hand stitch, every hand stitch
tooling
overlock, which is crazy for when people do that. You know, I love needlework, and I just see hours and hours and hours and days and weeks going into this, and that's just absolute determination right there.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So anyway, congratulations and enjoy your prizing offered by both Blizzard and Hoku Props. But congratulations to Killy's Cosplay as our second international winner in this competition. which is fantastic. And we've got another, I think we're doing good on our time here,
We
right?
can stretch it a bit.
Yeah,
we can do
we're doing
this.
okay. So here's some more bonus entries that we didn't get to showcase, but
that's
Ooh,
amazing.
pause here for a second.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is a
yeah.
pause moment. So I'm going to try to interject for the community when I can. So I tried to really scrounge through the entrance and see if I could find and identify members of our Hearthstone community that we regularly interact with on Twitter and our streamers. So Send Me Your Arms is a newer Hearthstone streamer. She's been streaming our content a lot lately. So I really was hoping, I crossed my fingers, I would see some of you streamers enter, and I didn't see very many. So next time, if we get to do this, I would really love to see members of the Hearthstone community actually do this. We created a category for you if you don't know how to cosplay coming up. We'll talk about that later. But so extra shout out to Send Me Your Arms, who is one of our members of our Hearthstone community.
Yes.
Thank you for creating a cosplay.
This was her first cosplay ever too, is that correct?
First
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
That
that's
was
amazing.
true.
Yes, and this is a different version of Jaina that non-Hearthstone people may not be familiar with. This is Frost Lich Jaina, which is a section, a part of Hearthstone where we did beloved characters as Death Knight characters. So this is if Jaina were a Death Knight. So pretty cool to see.
All right.
Looks amazing as
Ether
well.
has caught my eye at one
Big,
point in
big
time.
shout out to the community members that are participating in this,
Wow,
because they
look
get the
at that.
best of both
Thank you,
worlds. Oh, this one was awesome to look at. Those
Ooh.
glaives are super
Dead
fun.
Illidan, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The light work
Nice.
on this is amazing.
Wow.
Oh, Gunsey had such an incredible entry. This was one of the ones I was like, wow, this is high
Oh my
competition
God.
because
Wow.
this is a fantastic costume right here.
Mhm. Wow.
We get to see a lot of Zach Fisher art in these as well, seeing a lot of cosplays that are designed by him.
Yeah, we haven't
Well,
even
they're
gotten to
very
the
popular.
Death Knight category officially yet. So that's where you're going to see
Elven.
more and more
Another
Zach
Alex
Fisher
Raza.
stuff.
Very nice.
Oh, that turned out so good.
Ooh.
Oh, this was one of my favorite videos ever that
Oh my
we've
God.
ever had in a competition. Hellos from Mexico did this incredible troll.
Oh, I love
I wish there was
trolls.
more
Oh my God.
footage.
Yeah.
Not
Femme
chat
Lich
trolls.
King. Ah,
I love
Oh, it
seeing
looks amazing.
people from Switzerland, you know, that's so cool.
Wow. Looks awesome and very cold as well.
Oh yeah, Vanessa
Another
was
Frost Lich
another
Jaina.
Italian
Yeah.
cosplayer. This
Ooh.
was great. Their photographer did some amazing
Wow.
composites too.
Yeah. Wow.
that's wild.
So that is
Yeah.
our second round of other submissions. Thank you. Seriously, we
Mm-hmm.
love looking at this stuff. We could sit here all day and look at cosplayers.
Oh, we really could, couldn't we?
Yeah.
We had a ton of submissions, so thank you again for
Yeah, I think
everyone who
Yeah.
applied.
It was over 50, and it boiled down to like I think 45 that went to the
Oh my
scorecards, and it just went on and on for like all through Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
So here we are, finally showcasing everything. Our last main craftsmanship category is the Death Knight category in honor of the March of the Lich King expansion, and this category we're looking. Oh wait, I'm sorry, Alkali. Would you please explain this because I forgot you're supposed to.
That's fine. Yeah. So for Death Knight, we had to really determine what's different from Death Knight than armor. And there's not always a lot of things that make it stand out, but we chose to have a separate Death Knight category, and it pretty much is armor, but that's okay. But that's because we really wanted to bring March of the Lich King to life. Like working for Hearthstone, I've had the pleasure of going through many expansions now. Let's see, Fractured in Alterac Valley, Voyage to the Sunken City, Murder at Castle Nathria, and now on to March of the Lich King. And I was a little nervous that when I decided to pitch this cosplay contest, that people might say like, oh, the cosplay girl, of course she wants to do a cosplay contest, right? But really there's a lot more to unpack here, which is if there was ever going to be a Hearthstone specific cosplay contest, when is the right moment? And there was never going to be a right moment, I think, other than Death Knights, because they're so large, they're so over the top. They really are exciting characters, and to finally have a Death Knight class, it's our 11th class in Hearthstone. It's a big moment. We don't get new classes very often. The last one was a couple of years ago. So Death Knight is in Hearthstone, and we're so excited to have them. So we had to create a category for it. So contestants could choose whether or not they wanted to enter in in as a Death Knight or enter in as armor. So even though they might be armor or even needlework contestants, they chose Death Knight. So we're excited to have them in this this category. And also I wanted to point out, because it's a bit different, those of you who are World of Warcraft fans and maybe don't play Hearthstone yet, but we'll get you. Some characters are Death Knights in Hearthstone, but aren't in World of Warcraft. We have a little bit more liberty here, and we have, especially with our cosplay references, made some beloved characters into Death Knights, as you saw earlier, like Khadgar. Why not make Khadgar Death Knight? Why not? And Edwin, sure, we can have a pirate Death Knight. Who doesn't want a pirate Death Knight? So that's kind of what I'm all about pirates today. So, you know, that's what this category is all about, you know, bringing characters into a Death Knight if they aren't already, or taking characters who've already been envisioned as a Death Knight.
Okay.
It's actually a great idea because as said, the armor category is actually always so filled with amazing cosplayers, and it's like you always feel like that you would like to give more prizes out. So the more categories, the more prizes. So it's actually a great idea. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and same deal. Going for the medallion and $1,500. And someone asked earlier, why $1,500? We did $1,500 for 3 plus $500 for Goblin, and grand prize best in show is $5,000. So it's a $10,000 prize pool, which is how these numbers came together. So with that, we are going to review our Death Knight finalists. And we are going to be starting with, and Kamui, can you please pronounce this? Because she told me, because she's from Germany, she said Silvervan Cosplay, I think.
I think you said it actually correct.
Okay, good.
I think you said it.
Anyway,
perfectly.
this is the Death Knight Ysera, and Alkali, would you like to discuss this one, please?
Oh, where to start? I paid attention to this cosplay quite a bit in the judging because there was just so much to see. This is another Zach Fisher design, I believe, and it's Ysera imagined as a Death Knight, and this is a small thing to point out, but it's important to me, someone who really likes to play with color in cosplay, that identifying dark green and black, especially in super darks and making the green look green, it can be very difficult. If you look at this image here of the inspiration piece, you can see that the greens and the blacks play well together, and she did a great job just in color alone. But when we move outside of that and we go into build work, I mentioned this earlier, but like organic armor building is something special, because we've had amazing cosplayers like Kamui bring us cosplay patterns through her YouTube, and other cosplayers who've done this as well, who've made patterning and cosplay easier for those of us. I know I learned from Kamui. So, and we often learn on these kind of basic patterns, but to go into organic patterns like the bark work on the pauldrons is much more difficult, and it takes a creative eye. So I always appreciate a cosplayer who can do those things and do them beautifully. So examples of organic work are in the pauldrons and in the bone-like wing structures that are covering those hip pauldrons. So very beautiful job, very clean work on seams, putting things together very well. I don't see any seams at all. Even the burning, sometimes when in using a burn tool, you get those stop marks that aren't always part of how it should look. And I thought that her burning tool techniques were very clean. Beautiful cosplay.
Yeah. I also really appreciate like all the extras. Like this costume already looks absolutely amazing during the day, but she also put a lot of effort into like adding lights, and like even those lights were not just like stuff was like just illuminated, but she actually added a gradient, so it looks like it's a light up a little bit there, but like less light up there. So, and in addition to that, she actually also like you saw it briefly in the video, also like a smoke machine, and adding this stuff is actually not easy. Like again, you have to learn new skills, you have to learn new techniques, get additional equipment and everything, and just for a tiny little detail maybe nobody will actually ever notice. And I always really appreciate like this going one step further to really bring the character to life. And as already said, like the costume is like really clean. I also love the very in character presentation, and yeah, it's just a gorgeous costume as well, and I love the design too.
I really love how she did the shoulder lighting, getting once again the diffusion of that lighting. She used kind of a bounce effect, and you have this graduated illumination that occurs up the length of it. And that's just something that's really hard to do. This costume, it was just the perfect silhouette. It was the perfect just form. The contrast on it is spot on, and it has incredibly good motion. I also really liked the cloak.
Yeah.
Oh, this was our last picture. I was being careful, but yeah, I remember during deliberation, this one came up a lot. So thank you for an excellent submission and great feedback. Up next is Velisadra, I believe it's pronounced, as Verisa of the Ebon Blade. And this was our first entry from Ecuador, which was really cool to see that.
That's amazing.
And actually, Hoku, do you want to start off with this one, please? Because there's some 3D printy elements going on here.
Actually, the shoulders originally, when I saw them, I thought they were going to be 3D printed because they're so perfect, but they're actually carved. And that to me was just, it's incredible. They're so perfect. And being able to get all of the different detailing in there, it really sets it off. I feel like shoulders are so iconic for Warcraft aesthetic and costume design. And being able to have something like this, like these look just like they're actually magical, right? So I can't say enough about this costume. I love it. I love it.
I also love the light installation, like the idea how to install the lights into those spiky things.
Right.
It looks so cool. I mean, like I'm a huge fan of lights anyway, and those are just always those extra that make the costume really pop. And yeah, it was again like really cool to see all the making of photos. And yeah, those shoulders are actually amazing. I love it.
This was Verisa, right? If I remember that
correct.
right. I mean, how we never see Verisa, one of the Windrunner sisters, if you're not familiar with lore. So, I mean, we hear a lot about Sylvanas, but we got a Verisa. So how cool is that? And these shoulder cauldrons, we're probably going to talk about them a lot, but really those are hand carved, as Chad said, is so cool. I mean, I really just want them.
That's incredible. I assumed they were like 3D printed, but that is
I think
remarkable.
parts of them are. Yeah, the base, but not the blue parts.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Actually, I want to make sure. Was that our last still? But yeah, thank you so much for another fantastic. And I get so excited with these international cosplayers.
Yeah.
Oh, the bow! I forgot about the bow.
The bow looks amazing.
The bow.
Yeah.
So great. I love good props.
Yeah, what I also love about the cosplay community, like I travel a lot to conventions, like no matter where you go, like when you actually meet a cosplayer, it's like it doesn't really matter what age you are, like which cultural background you have, like which language you speak, or like which religion you have. Like once you actually meet a cosplayer, this person instantly can become your very best friend, and yet you start talking about like techniques and materials. Like it's so amazing that like cosplay connects people like all over the world. You feel like you're a part of a huge community, like just a huge family.
Especially within Blizzard and gaming and cosplay. Like Blizzard is so wide, and we're seeing that with the entries from around the world, and that's such a great thing for all of us to have in common. And when I go to BlizzCon, I meet people all over the world, and they're just thrilled to be there.
So excited about BlizzCon.
All right, cool.
Man.
So let's move on to our next finalist. Oh wait, we had a couple more stills. I forgot. These were some really cool night shots with some lighting.
Striking. I like the backfill light on this.
Yeah.
And Risa is kind of like cool of a character. Like she's not warm, she's just so like these kind of cool shots are kind of nice as well. So I feel like I get Marisa out of that.
Yeah, very in character.
All right. So next on our Death Knight, is Oshli from Canada in her Serenite Death Knight cosplay, and this was heavy prop work. Kamui, would you like to discuss what you see here, please?
Yes, this is actually an actual set from World of Warcraft, again brought to life, like just taking the, I would say a little bit bulky reference from the game with the weapon. I think it's Armageddon, if I remember correctly. And yeah, it was just again like really, really cool. A lot of different techniques went into creating this costume. And what I really love is like, again, like this taking the whole costume one step further, not just taking the reference, but actually transform it into a reality that the costume actually works because I would say like the reference in WoW is like often a little bit bulky, like they're like those massive bracers and everything, and she actually adjusted the design a little bit that it actually suits her better, and I just absolutely love the overall look of the costume. And in Canada this could be like minus 50 degrees probably right now.
I love this sword so much.
Yeah,
he did such a good job on the overall aesthetic, and being able to just take this costume and, as you were saying, Kamui, being able to get it to fit and just present, and being able to go full 360, they did an absolutely incredible job.
Yep.
And Ashley,
go ahead, please.
Oh, it's fine. Ashley is no stranger to the cosplay world and completed in her fair share of BlizzCons. She's really well known for her Warbler work. So I have to say this armor is made, I think, 100% out of Warbler, which is a hard plastic. So it in a world where working with foam has become easier, I know I also prefer to work with foam. Kamui brought this up earlier. It's kind of the easy way out, and I don't want to say that because it is still difficult, but like I use foam for a lot of small details because for me it's just easier. So all of these tiny little pieces that you see, she cuts them out in Warbler. So these are very thin Warbler strips. So the amount of skill required to make this level of detail in a Warbler cosplay is high, and she's meticulous. I wouldn't be surprised if we took two different sides of the armor and put them right next to each other and they weren't perfect matches. Like she is really, I would say, masterclass in working with Warbler. So very, very great job as far as the seams and putting this cosplay together. It's very, very clean.
Oshli is one of those absolute precision cosplayers where her work looks so good, it looks easy to make, which is...
It looks good when it's not painted.
Right.
Like her pre-paint photos on her Instagram, like I love seeing her Warbler work unpainted. It's stunning.
All right, cool. So, and because Hoku didn't get to talk a lot during Oshli's, he can start during Imriel's entry from Italy as Frostworm Arthas. Please go for it, Hoku Props.
So Frostworm Arthas is a Heroes of the Storm skin, and just like all other Heroes of the Storm aesthetic, it is absolutely even more oversized than normal, and they have done a perfect job of reproducing the scaling on that while still trying to maintain mobility, still trying to be able to wear it and function. You can see that in the mobility of the costume, how they're moving around. The sword really, really ties things together for me because it gives them the ability to actually showcase like the costume as a whole. You've got just every aspect. The paintwork is also honestly some of the best paintwork I've ever seen. It's so impeccably clean. I can't say enough good things about this costume.
I also think that like just picking this costume must be so scary because the original reference, the original reference is actually from Heroes of the Storm, and you know like the reference from World of Warcraft is already, I would say, like quite bulky, but like in Heroes of the Storm is everything just crazy massive, even bigger and everything. But the fact that like they said like, okay, this is the right character I want to make. Like I have a lot of respect for that because like this is like larger than size. This is like, oh my god, like just being able to bring the costume accurately with all the like the proportions to life. It must require like so much skill. So like it was so challenging. It was incredibly impressive. I love it.
I'm going to take this small moment too, since we're talking about some other franchises, to clear up a few cosplay contest rules, actually, because this is a good moment to do that with this cosplay. So as long as the character was from Hearthstone or World of Warcraft, because Hearthstone characters come from that world, although we have a few of our own now, as long as they were one of those characters that could be in here, regardless of if they had a Heroes of the Storm skin. However, because we did have a few entrants that couldn't apply because it couldn't be, for example, like Lilith or Sonya from it couldn't, or even let's think like a character from Overwatch. Like it couldn't be Diva as a Death Knight. So as long as the character originated in Hearthstone or World of Warcraft, the skin could be pretty much what it needed to be. So Heroes of the Storm skins are okay. And Arthas, a very well-known character in World of Warcraft.
Well said. And yeah, this was a very unique competition. I don't think we've ever had such a specific IP towards a competition. But surprisingly, we got a ton of submissions, which made it really easy for us. Anyway, finishing up with Imriel Cosplay, thank you very much for your submission. I think we have one more Death Knight that we are going to review, who is Pasha Vixen as the Elite Archeros Death Guard. And Kamui, would you like to approach this, please?
Yes, I absolutely loved it. Oh my god, like this costume had such a great look. Also, like just the location where the costume was shot. I think it again looks somewhere deep in Canada, and I really loved the overall look of the character. And yeah, it's like the shoulders. I got like the right proportion. I love the makeup. The weapon looked amazing. Like everything just looked so well, nice put together. And yeah, she actually looks like exactly from the game. And yeah, I totally loved all the effort that went into making the costume.
I don't think this was filmed in Canada. I think this was filmed in Northern.
Is it? Okay, it just looks cold.
Just
it
might
looks
be.
cold. Yeah.
It looks absolutely
Confirmed. Filmed in North French.
Yes.
Oh, this is a Zach design, I believe.
Yeah.
And this entire costume is just perfect for this scene, perfect for this environment. And she's done such a good job of just becoming a Death Knight. I really love this design.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's talk about attaching armor for a minute, because we haven't really talked about that. And it's something interesting to bring up, especially if anyone is new to cosplay watching this. Wearing shoulder pauldrons that are that massive and us not being able to see how they're attached to them is amazing, right? Like I know how they're attached. I know Kamui does because we both worn things similar to this. But you have to attach them to undergarments often and then hide them under the cape. And it is a lot of complexity that we don't talk about enough. Is how to attach armor properly, how to not show it. Often when we see the hip armor pieces that connect to the centerpiece, sometimes we can see the little connector there, but we don't. She's done a really great job of hiding how this all works. The armor just almost seems to float there, much like it does in game. So very cool to see.
Wow, physics.
I also think like every one of us already have been in a costume at the convention, praying that the costume won't fall apart, having the hot glue and like duct tape ready and everything, and like praying to all the safety pins. I was there as well. And so I always say, like, when you're actually finishing an armor costume, do like a few like test walks around and everything. Just hope everything works out. But yeah, attachment is actually something really difficult, something you mostly don't see, you shouldn't see, and something which is, well, when it is well done, it's very rewarding. And if it's not well done, the convention might become complicated.
Yeah, it's always funny. You see your shoulder pads that are in the right position at hour 1 of the con, and by hour 3 you're just like 3 inches further down. And as you've been walking around, so I make my harnesses out of leather, and I used to use Chicago screws a lot. You'd be walking around, you just hear this little tink tink tink, and those are the Chicago screws slowly working loose and falling. It's just it's a riot. It's nuts.
At least she has a weapon. She can clear her way through the crowd.
All right, and that concludes our Death Knight finalists. God, these judges are making it really easy on me as the host. Like, I don't have to do anything. You guys are just running away with the show, which is excellent.
Nice to hear.
That's also, because we're huge fans.
I want to give a ton of credit to a lot of these cosplayers that submitted such great, polished content that was really fun and easy to work with. And that was a great example of really excellent presentation.
Yeah.
So,
Also, I think participating in costume competitions is actually scary. Like you need to overcome some fears. Like it might be actually intimidating, like to show your stuff to such a huge audience. And especially at live costume competitions where you have to go on stage, sometimes in front of thousands of people. And I don't know how many people are watching right now, but I think it's also quite scary for the participants as well, even though it's only online.
right. Well, and there
You
was.
know,
Go ahead, Chad. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, something that always stuck out to me about Blizzard cosplayers, though, is like just the extreme love of that character, of that game. It really, I've noticed just this charisma that exudes when you're walking around BlizzCon. I've been at BlizzCon since year one, guys, and seeing the cosplay as it has evolved has just been remarkable. And so that's something that I really just want to highlight is some of my absolute favorite cosplay. It is all from the Warcraft universe or the Diablo universe, all of these different Blizzard IPs. They do such a good job with the
you also have to add, like, you could actually spend hours, days, months playing your favorite game, or you are so obsessed with a certain character that you actually spend like all those times with creating the costume. And like as a gaming cosplayer, you always struggle like with, okay, I really want to make the cosplay, but I also really want to play the game. And like at the end, you'd somehow like wait for your raid, wait like for the next session starting, and hand stitching something in front of the computer, so you're like
in between
double
raids,
as
in
effective.
between wipes.
But
You're
yeah,
just
like
"Ah,
if you're
that's
actually creating gaming cosplay, is like really difficult.
Everything
You
you're saying
have
is
to
super
decide.
valid, but there's people out there wanting to know who won this
Yeah,
category.
I was gonna ask
sorry,
that.
guys.
Yeah,
Who needs
sorry,
all
we
the
were
dying
just
right
getting
now?
Through
into
that, and then we'll
Sorry.
rage about.
Who's
yeah, 'cause
gonna win?
you guys want to know who won
Let's
this,
hear it.
right? Yeah. Okay. So forgive the interruption.
Sorry.
Because you were on a great rampage.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna announce our winner for Best Death Knight right now. And it is Imriel Cosplay.
Yes!
from Italy,
Congratulations,
from
Imriel.
Arthas.
Congratulations,
Oh my
Exceptional.
Imriel.
gosh,
Congratulations,
So
Ariel
excited for you.
Cosplay.
Oh my god,
Costume's so
such
incredible.
a well-made costume. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm is
Amazing.
nuts. I want
Yeah.
to make a HOTS costume now.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
to do it. Just to
Actually,
do it.
I made one already. It's like great reference designs as well. And like, but Hearthstone has so much stuff as well. Oh my god.
I love
And
the
also-
bone. The
I
faux
was
just
bone
gonna say
texture on
that.
this
Yeah.
is so good.
Yeah.
I didn't comment much on his when we were on theirs when we were going through this, and it is so stunning. The work on the bones in particular and the color that they did is so good.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
The videography is so good.
Yeah, and like also like this combination between like a metal look finish and like all those bones, like which are like very organic and stuff, like putting it together into an actually working costume. It's amazing. Like I'm still absolutely blown away by like the proportions, like just like those absolute insane proportions.
And that the shoulder pads don't cut their head off.
Yeah.
Like Jack
Yeah.
said, seeing it articulate the way that it does, being so bulky and moving so naturally is really pleasing to see that.
Yeah.
Actually, I should admit, when I was rendering out this footage here, I was getting chills because I was like, man, what an iconic shot of
Oh yes.
this
Artist,
victory for this
Yes.
particular category. So,
Yeah, this is like the
thank you.
Frozen Throne cover
yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
That's like
From-
box-
Don't you
a
want to make an
Hearthstone.
artist costume as
Yeah.
well when you
Right.
see that?
Oh,
I
I've
would
got
say
that-
from a Hearthstone perspective, wanting to see like who could win the Death Knight section of
Yeah.
this. I'm happy to see that it is Arthas.
Yes.
And that they did such a good job. And this really is a great representation of what we would have expected to see for the Death Knight category.
Amazing.
All right. And with that, we are going to move on to what I believe is congratulations, Imriel, one more time. And that is going all the way to Italy. And we've got one more
Wow.
collection of bonus cosplay entries to share with you guys. And which means we're
Ooh.
getting to the end of our show. This was
Oh,
our
I
first entry
loved
from
this
Taiwan,
one.
which is super cool to see that.
Wow.
In the tier 2 Warlock, I believe.
Yes, tier 2 or tier 1
That
warlock.
sewing is
yes.
so good.
Yeah.
We've got Plexi
Yeah.
Cosplay. This is when
Plexi
she went
Cosplay.
by
Oh my
God,
Diva Stone
lights!
Cosplay. This is
I
like
know her.
super
Oh God.
baby Plexi right here.
Ah,
But
Great
it turned out to be a
job.
great
God.
costume.
love it.
Hi,
Wow.
Flexi.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see more
this one.
Lich.
Look at
too.
all those details. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Hello,
Puerto
my
Rico.
friend.
Super cool to see that.
I mean,
Artos is really popular.
for chat to see what didn't
Yes!
make finalists was still great. Oh, I'm so excited
What
you
is
put this in
this?
here.
Oh my God!
This
It
was
is
the
a patchwork Deathwing.
Pat
God!
from Nax dressed
Yeah.
as
Well, why
Deathwing.
not?
Everything about
Patchwork
this is
Deathwing.
perfect.
Oh, wow.
I
This
think
one
when this entry
stole my
came
heart.
in, Alkali like texted me like, "Oh my God, did you see this thing yet?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Not yet, but that is incredible." You were so
I mean,
excited.
Someone entered a
Oh,
plushie.
goodness.
Sure, why not? A cosplay is a cosplay.
It is. It didn't.
Yeah.
Thank
violate
you,
any
community,
rules.
for being so great.
I
This-
want to see Corgi cosplays.
Yes,
Yeah.
Corgi cosplays next time.
Wow. Oh my
Sally.
God.
I was
Beautiful.
hoping
Oh,
to see
so
more
good.
Sally's, but Arusa
Wow.
did a great Sally
I
Whiteman.
love this
The helmet
design.
she had done is terrific. This is our first Bulgarian cosplayer from
Wow.
Super
Love
Rogue,
the
who's
color
a
on this.
Great.
Oh my God.
Blizzard
So
Incredible.
shiny.
That is a beautiful paint.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
The one-us.
And the queen.
it's heartbreaking to see that some of these folks didn't make it.
Yeah.
Onto the
Why?
finalists, but
Yeah.
this was by
Popular.
far my
Wow.
favorite video submission ever. It was
Yeah.
just a demon hunter beating the hell out of the cameraman.
Sure, why not?
I always love a
Love
good
those
demon
lights.
hunter.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
I
God.
actually think this was from our cosplay reference sheets as
Yeah.
well, if I remember right.
Ah.
Oh, yes.
I love Warhard. This guy's awesome.
Oh my God. I love the texture. It looks
That
amazing.
makeup is really good.
And the
Yeah.
makeup's great too.
Ooh, the weapon. Oh my God. The paint job looks amazing as well.
And that is our
Wow.
final.
That center core is also really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
How
Uh-huh.
it's just bursting through that center plate.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
cool.
All right, and
It's
that
just
is-
amazing that we get to showcase these. Thank
Yeah.
you again
Yeah.
to our
Yeah.
host,
And
Tock,
actually, I should
for
thank
doing this.
the Blizzard team for allowing us to showcase all of these people because it's kind of part of our deal. We have a huge heart for cosplayers around the world. It means everything to us. To me, this is a celebration. To everyone else, this is a competition. In Chad's case, it's a
Party.
what do you call it? A party or an award ceremony or something?
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah. It's an award ceremony.
Yeah. Okay. So, actually, Alkali, would you like to set up
Goblin
our?
craft!
This
Goblin
is not
craft!
one of our main core categories, but
Goblin
this was.
craft!
Please,
Someone is excited.
please go.
I'm so excited. Okay. Here's why I'm excited. Let me tell you. Background story. There has been a bit of talk in the cosplay world about cosplay getting so expensive. The skill level of people. Kamui, this is your fault for teaching everybody so well.
Sorry.
I'm blaming Kamui.
Sorry.
All right. Everybody's getting good, really good.
Hashtag blame Kamui. Yeah.
and the level of skill in cosplayers and the cost of production, sometimes in some categories, even armor, we're starting to see it almost become a special effects category. And so one thing, and hearing a lot of this chatter in the cosplay community about needing budget categories, I actually firmly believe this. I hope, I'm getting, a little soapbox here, but I hope some cosplay competitions will consider adding a budget category.
Yeah.
And
That's
also we
amazing.
wanted to consider that maybe not all of our Hearthstone players had some creative skill. I don't know. Maybe you guys do, maybe you don't. But we just wanted to say, we wanted to have a category that everybody felt like they could enter regardless of skill. So this is the Goblin Craft category. You had to use duct tape or tape, cardboard and or paper, paint, and you could use glue. So in the rules, those were the 4 things. So most of our contestants used just cardboard and tape, and I'm so excited to show you the finalists in the Goblin Crafts category. Enjoy.
Nice.
Yes, and so we picked our 3 favorite because this wasn't one of our core competitions, and here they are as our finalists. So we are starting with, I believe it's pronounced Alan. This is another entry from Taiwan, which is super cool, as Goblin Lady Tinker. And actually, Hoku, would you please do the honors of talking about this?
Oh, I love this costume so much. So one of the things that I'm just going to start, one of the things I absolutely love is the special effects, the very ingenious, simple special effects. Building things out of cardboard with motion and just being able to rig it so she could wear it, and just it's just such a fun costume. This I think to me is a perfect representation of people having fun with a costume.
Oh yes, totally.
Well said.
Yeah, this is actually a larger-than-life costume, because like usually those costumes, and I wanted to say like I love this category, because like people think with costumes like that you need to get like all the fancy tools, like all the fancy equipment. It gets like really expensive, and like she just used like cardboard and tape and paint, and like it's like even moving, it's functional, you know. And this costume is mind blown. Oh my god! And, like especially like that, like you need so much creativity to actually like working with the like the most simplified tools and materials to create something like that. Like you need to keep your eyes open for like some all the things to actually bring together. It's like a very creative costume. I love it. Like the idea is really cool as well.
I love that she left one of the cardboard seams raw. Like you can see that the corrugation in the cardboard. I've also made a mech suit, so I have extra appreciation for seeing Goblin craft. Might be some of the history behind how we came up with the name as well. So very excited to see that someone actually made a mech suit out of cardboard.
Well, this I competed against Alkali one year, and you were Dr. Boom, which reminded me of this particular costume.
I did. I made a Dr. Boom Mad Genius cosplay.
You guys, if you haven't seen Alkali in that, please look it up on her Instagram, because it's worth seeing. Okay, we're gonna move on to our second. Oh wait, I wasn't sure what happened. Okay, we've got
more of this one's great.
Yeah, more of this. Okay, here's our second Goblin craft, and this is Samazon Cosplay from the US in their duct tape Valera. Actually, Alkali, please discuss this, because you've made Valera a couple of times.
I made Valera twice. I was actually the Valera in the Mercenaries commercial. I don't know if you saw that. I made Valera a ton, so I am very connected to this character. Mad props. This is done head to toe in duct tape, and as someone who's made this body piece I made it in velvet, and it was so difficult. I cannot believe someone pulled this off to this level of perfection with duct tape. Same with the boots. Even the laces are made with duct tape, and they actually corset kind of lace up the back. And then the attention to detail in the sword, which is the exact way that sword is laid out. It's got that cool kind of cutout out of it. I'm really impressed with how this was pulled off. Those shoulders are nuts. And the fact that they're done in cardboard and duct tape is just so wicked cool.
I didn't notice it was ribbon tied together to hold the bracers together. That makes me really happy.
Did she actually even use some paint, or is this like
I don't think she used paint. I think it's just
colored
duct tape.
Yeah, because I know duct tape only gray, so I wonder, like, did you actually only use duct tape and cardboard?
Only duct tape. Yeah, she found green duct tape and gold and red duct tape.
That's so impressive.
We're gonna just start seeing duct tape used as interfacing.
I hope so.
Hopefully that becomes its own category in competition. Moving forward.
I love the tattering on the tabard or whatever element it is down there, where it looks like exactly. It looks like it's just got a bunch of weathering and it's perfect.
This is crazy. Oh my god.
Someone in chat said it looks so cheap. That's the point.
That is the point.
It's just tape. Okay.
I wouldn't say actually it looks cheap though. Wow.
Okay, here's our last Goblin Craft finalist, who is Take Flight Cosplay from the UK in the Tier 2 Paladin Judgment armor set. This was one of my favorite entries, period. And actually, Kamui, was this one that you wanted to talk about?
Yes, I loved it as well, because like first, this is like obviously one of the most amazing armor sets in World of Warcraft. Made it as well, and I think like this contestant actually like really take the whole like the whole idea very serious, because look, like those pieces in the front, they're actually, I think, like craft shop recipes,
Yeah, they're receipts.
Bills, receipts,
the
right?
scroll work.
Yeah, it's receipts, and like everything is also just duct tape, like I think leftover crafting material, like fabric, like really old fabric and stuff. It's like, and just I think the shoulder pieces are just cardboard as well. Creating something like that just with cardboard. This is actually not easy. Really not easy.
The fact that they put their
There
cosplay receipts on there.
This is one of my favorite screenshots in the entire
Oh my
show.
god, so cool. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow. So this is just
Pepsi
a bunch of
can.
random stuff from around the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So you see, cosplay doesn't need to be expensive.
nope.
Well, and they prove it in
Yeah.
you know, if you want to ask them how much it costs, just go read it.
Mm-hmm. You don't even need a sewing machine. Just tape it together, and it's good.
I love the little like looped chain paper things that you're making.
Oh
like,
my god,
It looks like
old
the
school,
holiday
Yeah.
thing where you count down the days and you rip off
Exactly. It's
each one.
so funny to see
Yeah.
that in
Yeah.
Oh,
a
man.
legitimate costume that looks this good.
I will say
Yeah.
the silhouette is so good though.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I believe those were our 3 Goblin Craft finalists, and without further delay, because we're actually getting close to our time here, we're gonna jump right into our winner, if you don't mind, who is Samazon Creations.
Yes.
Hey!
Congratulations, Amazon.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
clap. Yep.
I will say, Samazon really took the rules to heart. This is 100% duct tape and cardboard, just head to toe boots. I wow.
Amazing.
Are the soles of the shoes cardboard? I'm gonna have to ask them later. Yeah, fabulous for our first ever Goblin Craft. I couldn't
Please
have
post
asked
your
for-
entire build book so everyone can learn your ways
Oh, yes, please.
of duct
Yeah.
tape armor smithing.
I so hope that this happens again, and I so am looking forward, if it does, to seeing how good the cardboard duct tape paint category Goblin
yes.
Craft is gonna get. We're gonna see
I
some
would love
wild
to see the
stuff.
category in other
This sets
contests.
such a high bar.
Yeah,
a
it's
high
amazing.
bar is set for sure.
Yeah.
Good luck anyone else who enters a duct tape category.
Alkali,
This
tell
is
your
what you
people
gotta
to
be.
make this event happen again in the future.
Yes, please.
Whatever we need to do, just make it happen.
Yeah,
But congratulations to Samazon Cosplay. What an incredible Goblin Craft entry, and congratulations on your $500 prize along with one of the medallions made by Hoku Props.
Congratulations.
Speaking of medallions made by Hoku Props, I believe our next segment on the show is called Hoku Props. And
Whoa!
we're going to go
That's
into some of the awards.
Oh yeah,
These
here's
are
the
actual
armor
awards.
medallion. Yeah, so these are all in a shadow box. Something that I've really liked, and Volpin actually set me on this, is being able to display your metal is something that it's not really easy when all you have is the metal. So, taking his lead, I figured let's get them mounted in shadow boxes. That way they can be presented. You can enjoy this totem of your win and success forever, or as long as they hold up, because they should last quite a while. And yeah, I absolutely love it. I sculpted all of these in ZBrush, and just taking the time to really create something that was going to resonate with each category. I put a lot of love into these, and I'm so happy with the results, and I'm hopeful that everybody else is happy with them too.
They look amazing. Oh my
Well
god.
said. And
Yeah.
you're not officially off the hook yet, because you got one more thing you have to talk about.
Yeah. So one other thing is the helmet. We wanted to go ahead and take inspiration from all of the elements of Death Knight and really create just this item that just completely personifies those elements. And so this is a crown that I went and designed with a whole lot of inspiration from Death Knight and other elements from Arthas. And yeah, it speaks for itself. This is all printed. This is a 3D printed. This is the master. There is only one and technically a second backup down here in case I need it. And it's just, I had so much fun. I'm a huge Blizzard fan, as you guys, I think, can totally tell. And so having this opportunity to take my passion, the same way that all of the other cosplayers in this contest have really taken their passion and putting it all into these different awards, I'm so proud of everyone. and I'm so excited for everybody to receive their prizes. I really am. So,
On behalf of the Hearthstone team, thank you again, because all we told Hoku Props was take the Lich King's Helm of Domination, but turn it into a crown. That's all we said. And seeing his renderings and seeing the process was very amazing for us to watch. Thank you again on behalf of the Hearthstone community team, Hoku Props, for putting that together. It's exactly what we'd envisioned.
And actually, I think when you guys were pitching it to us, Hoku was like, I will only do that event if I get to make the prizing, because you were so excited to be able to make
It's because I love it so much.
trophies
I
and
love it
crowns
so
and
much.
medals, and you're so good at it. So to all the
Thank
winners
you.
that we've had so far, of which we've got 4 category winners, enjoy your prizes. And talking about category winners, I think we are supposed to see who our category winners are. So these are our core category winners of our craftsmanship competition categories. We've got Danny McFly in armor, Achilles Cosplay with Needlework, and Imriel Cosplay as the Death Knight winner.
This was so hard.
Now, these 3 people are slotted to compete against each other amongst the judges, which has already happened. And one of these 3 people has to be selected as the best in show, which will win the crown.
$5,000
And $5,000 and all the glory that goes along with this event, which I think there's a lot of prestige here. So before we announce, is there anything that anyone has to say about anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that like all of the participants were absolutely amazing, and like it was such a joy to see all the costumes up close, like to see all the build books, and like basically for me personally, everyone is a winner, and it was amazing to judge everyone, and I really hope that Blizzard is doing more such costume competitions, because it's really motivating for the cosplay community, and I think also BlizzCon will be really huge this year.
I can not agree more. That's
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see all of the love and passion that's been put into costumes. We've seen a small teaser of this. BlizzCon, I'm assuming this year, is going to be wild with the cosplay.
Yeah.
So if you guys are not a part of the contest or the costume community, please get excited. You've got a bit of time. Because
Join
we're
us.
going to totally be there.
Yes.
I want to see everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember when I called Kamui to invite her to be part of this event, you just started clapping on the phone. You were like, oh my God, Blizzard cosplayers are so thirsty for new cosplay content.
Yes, please.
So thank you so much for joining along with this.
Yeah, thank you for this amazing cosplay competitions.
Yeah.
I saw like so many people got really excited about it, and now being a part of it, it's a huge honor for me. And I just as I said, I hope to see more.
All right. Alkali, do you have any final thoughts?
I just want to see the winner.
All right,
I want to see chat see the winner.
We're getting into it. So we're going to just cut to the full screen here. We're going to hit play and see what happens. So good luck, everyone. And here we go.
Good luck, everyone.
All right. There's one more slide. Now, here we go.
Kidding.
Who's the winner?
Danny McFly.
Danny McFly!
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Wow.
Congratulations!
Congratulations! Oh my god! Oh my god! Congratulations!
Costume's
This
so good.
was
Yes.
epic.
Yes.
My goodness. I just have to tell chat, judging this, I've said it once, I'm going to say it again, was a huge honor. I think it's going to pop up later. You'll see it, but there's a side-by-side comparison of this armor and then the in-game character next to each other, and they are exact. It is just, that is so rare.
It's so uncanny.
Yeah.
To get those proportions, because we usually have to modify them for Blizzard armor because it's like impossible. If you move your shoulders, you're going to pop your head off. So this was just masterfully done. Beautiful work.
Oh yeah, the
very well
bodysuit,
deserved.
muscle
thank
suit.
you for sharing the build book. Yeah.
I'm
thank
so
you.
glad you guys get to see this.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I put the whole build book because I wanted people to know that there's an undersuit, all the sewing, the patterning, the armor.
Yeah.
And
Danny
this is
did
what Alkali
all
was
of
just
it.
talking about.
Yes.
All of it. He even got he designed his chainmail pattern. He got it printed. He did the sewing. It's incredible.
Yes, this side by side right here. This is what chat really needs to see. And you guys are getting to see what we saw what we judged off of. And when you see an image like this, it's hard not to understand why Danny is the winner. It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
there was
that
so
may
much
be
planning
the
with
most
this.
accurate representation of scaling I've ever seen in a costume ever.
Danny is Terrarian. So like this is like so perfect, so well executed.
Danny, can I just refer to you as Terralian from now on?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be at BlizzCon this year? I'll bring Uther back out.
Yeah. I would love to see this at BlizzCon because I never saw this costume like in real life, and I think like seeing this at BlizzCon would be amazing. However, I can imagine that transporting the costume to BlizzCon could be a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
And Danny laid that beard work too.
Yeah, putting on his prosthetics too, because there's so much that goes into this. It's not just putting on armor. Like, look at what he's going
just
into.
The makeup must take so long.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I love how we're all just quiet because we're just like totally engaged, just like wow.
Yeah, he's a young person, a young person that puts on all this scarring, does perfect age work. Yeah, this is just very, very well done. I don't, some makeup artists might not have even done this job as well as he did.
I want to go work on costumes now.
Right. And here is your final best in show
Congratulations.
Screenshot right
Congratulations.
here. Congratulations to Danny.
Such a good costume.
And
all of it.
Huge thank you to everyone who entered, all the other winners, everyone that was part of this show, all the people. But Danny, you absolutely killed it. We've gotten to talk about Danny 3 different times now, so I think we've exhausted all of our love for Danny McFly right now. Maybe not. I'm not sure, but you guys can talk about it on social media.
I love you, Danny McFly. You're amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please check out his Instagram so you can see more amazing costumes of him as well.
Go like and follow all of the contestants, everyone.
Yeah, please do it. They will appreciate it.
Actually, so somehow we've eaten up the entire 2-hour block here, and very quickly I set this screen aside in case there's anything that Alkali as the community manager needs to announce on behalf of Blizzard and Hearthstone right now.
Yes, thank you for showing up. Thank you to all the amazing contestants, the people who submitted their cosplays, for bringing March of the Lich King to life. That was the goal. There was never going to be a more perfect opportunity to take a Hearthstone moment, put it on a center stage, and take our characters and bring them to life for you. So thank you to the community for doing that, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this show.
This has been a lot of fun, and thank you for letting me be another host of another one of these events. I really enjoy doing these, and I think I did just a little special thanks thing here to showcase how much I love all of these different people and brands, but special thanks to our amazing judges, Hoku Props, Kamui Cosplay, and Alkali Layke, and then our administrative staff, Tiffany, Gordon Cosplay. We could not have done this without you. Blizzard, obviously, without which we wouldn't have characters to compete with. Ultimate Cosplay is us, really. The Hearthstone community, and Tock Custom is me. So I did all the editing and whatever, so there you have it. But, oh, and do we have time for Corgi Cam? Is it time for several?
Yeah, always time for Corgi Cam.
Yeah, hello, several. Also, thank you very much again for this amazing costume competition.
Oh, that's
thank
awesome.
you. Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well,
Perfect.
Let's say our final farewells because we got to wrap this up in 90 seconds, or I'm gonna get fired or something like that. I don't know what happens. But yeah, big love. This was a ton of fun. I'm very happy that this went so smoothly.
Yeah. Thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you for such a great.
Bye, everyone. See y'all at BlizzCon, hopefully.
Thank you. See you at BlizzCon.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.